Every light in the delivery room just exploded, all of them, at the exact same moment. The doctors are standing in the dark, blinking, ears ringing, wondering what just happened. And somewhere in the middle of all that smoke and sparking wire is you, brand new, 4 seconds old, and already, technically, a fire hazard. Congratulations, you are not a normal baby. Normal babies cry, you crackle. You come into this world with a small problem and a big current. And the problem is that your body does not actually know the difference between a feeling and a lightning bolt. You get excited, the lights flicker. You get scared, the toaster dies. You get the hiccups, and 3 houses down somebody's television quietly gives up on life. You are not in control of any of this. You are a baby. You are barely in control of your own neck. Somewhere, a light just went out. This is Manila, by the way, and there is genuinely no better place on earth for a kid built like a power surge to grow up. The city never stops moving. Jeepneys roar past, painted in every color anyone could find. The rain comes down like the sky owes somebody money. The streets are loud and warm and packed and alive. Basketball courts on every corner, music out of every window. Everybody going somewhere fast. You fit right in. You are also going somewhere fast. You are just not sure where yet, and you keep getting there before your brain does. Your parents love you. They are also extremely tired because raising you costs roughly 1 major appliance a month. You hug your mom, the fridge shuts off. You laugh at a cartoon, the cartoon disappears. Every electrician in the neighborhood knows your family by name, and not in a good way. They show up, they scratch their heads, they say the wiring looks fine, and the second they leave, you sneeze, and the whole block goes dark. Somewhere, a light just went out. But here's the thing nobody expects, least of all you. All that energy with nowhere to go does not just fry electronics. It goes into your legs. You are fast, not kid fast. Not fast for your age fast. Genuinely, unfairly, what was that fast? The first time you really run, full speed, down your street, you scare yourself because the world turns into a smear and your feet are barely touching the ground, and your body is finally, for 1 beautiful second, doing exactly what it was built to do. You skid to a stop. You are grinning like an idiot. You want to do it again immediately. So you do. Over and over. You become the kid who races everyone and everything. Other kids, dogs, jeepneys, which is deeply unsafe, and you do not care even a little. You discover that when you move fast enough, the buzzing under your skin calms down, like the speed is the only thing that finally matches the engine inside you. Standing still makes you itch. Moving makes you feel normal. So you just stop standing still. There is something else the speed teaches you, something it takes you years to put into words. When you move fast enough, you cannot be caught, cannot be cornered, cannot be told to sit still and be quiet and be careful. Out on the open road, blurring past everything that ever made you feel like a problem. You are not a kid with a dangerous condition. You are just free. That feeling becomes the thing you chase harder than any finish line. By the time you hit school, you are a problem in the best possible way. You win every race. You win races you were not even entered in. Coaches look at you the way people look at a winning lottery ticket they are scared to touch. You are a track star, a sprinter, a blur with a ponytail. And for a while, everything is great, because running is the one thing your body and your power agree on. For a while, you let yourself believe that is all it is. A gift, a fun party trick attached to a fast pair of legs. You light up a dead flashlight for your little cousins, and they scream with delight and call you magic. You charge a neighbor's phone by holding it. You become the most popular kid on a street that loses power twice a week, because when the grid dies, you do not. You glow, literally. It is, for one shining stretch of childhood, the coolest thing about you instead of the scariest. That stretch does not last, and then your power stops asking for permission. It starts small, a spark off your fingertips when you are nervous before a race, a jolt that pops out of you when you get angry, a handshake that makes somebody yelp. You laugh it off. Everyone laughs it off. Static, right? Filipino summers, weird wiring. Who knows? It is not static, and you know it is not static, because it is getting stronger. The more you feel, the more it surges, and you are a teenager, which means you feel approximately everything, all the time, at maximum volume. One bad day, one big emotion, and suddenly there is a current arcing across your knuckles bright enough to light a room, and the look on people's faces changes from "that's funny" to "what are you?" That look is the worst part, way worse than the burns. So you do the thing you swore you would never do. You slow down, you hold it in, you teach yourself to clamp the whole storm down behind your ribs and act normal, act calm, act like a girl who does not occasionally glow. You stop racing, you stop sprinting, you stop letting yourself feel big feelings, because big feelings have consequences now, and the consequences spark. It is the most miserable you have ever been. You are a race car parked in a garage with the engine screaming. Every single cell in your body is begging you to let go, and every single day you tell it no. Somewhere, a light just went out anyway. You could not even fully stop it. That is how much there is. And that is exactly when they find you. Not a coach this time, an organization, a serious one, the kind that operates in the spaces between governments and collects people who are a little too much for the regular world. They have seen the medical reports nobody could explain. They have seen the security footage of a track meet where, for one frame, a teenage girl lit up like a thunderstorm. They are not afraid of you. They are interested in you. There is a difference, and you have been starving for that difference your whole life. They tell you something nobody has ever told you. They tell you to stop holding it in. They explain what you actually are. Radiant, powered by your own bioelectricity, a living current, a person wired straight into the storm. The power was never the problem. The cage was the problem. You spent years learning to suppress the one thing that makes you you, and these people are now politely asking you to please, for the love of everything, let it rip. You do. And the first time you fully let go on purpose, with permission, you understand that you were never a fire hazard. You were a weapon nobody had unlocked yet, including you. Before we get into what that looks like, here is the deal. The agents you see at the end of this video are the lineup for who we become next, so go throw your pick into the comments before it slips your mind. You move fast. Prove it. Beat the other commenters to it. Okay, back to the lightning. Let us talk about high gear, which is just your childhood with the brakes finally cut. You drop your hands, you lean forward, and you move at a speed the rest of the world considers rude. Walls, angles, open ground. It does not matter. You blink across a battlefield before anyone is finished deciding you are a threat. And when you really want to make an entrance, you slide, low and fast and impossible to track, right into the middle of people who were absolutely not ready for you. You spent your whole life being told to slow down. Now slowing down is a tactical choice you almost never make. Then there is fast lane, which is the trail you used to leave when you ran, turned into a weapon. You fire 2 lines of pure energy straight ahead, and they snap up into walls of crackling light that nobody can see through. You carve a private highway across the map, a lane that belongs to you and only you, and you scream down the middle of it while the enemy stands on either side wondering where the noise is coming from. The answer is, the noise is coming for them. Then there is relay bolt, which is every spark that ever jumped off your nervous teenage fingertips, finally aimed on purpose. You throw a bolt of energy, and it bounces, it ricochets, it detonates, and anyone caught in the blast gets their whole body scrambled, stunned, rattled like a phone dropped in a washing machine. You used to do this by accident when you got startled. Now you do it because you decided someone needed to have a very bad 2 seconds. And then there is the one you spent your entire life holding back. Overdrive. This is you, with nothing left in the cage. You raise your hand, and the current pours out of you in a continuous beam of raw lightning, and you move so fast the world cannot keep its eyes on you, firing pure electricity from your fingertips while you blur from target to target. There is no holding it in, there is no acting normal, there is no being scared of the look on anybody's face. For a few perfect seconds, you are exactly, completely, unapologetically what you were born as, and the storm finally gets to be loud. Every light in the building flickers when you do it. Of course it does. Some things never change. It does not all click at once, by the way. Letting go is easy. Aiming is the hard part. The first few weeks, you are a danger to absolutely everyone, including the walls, including the floor, including a very expensive piece of equipment that you are pretty sure nobody has noticed is gone. You overshoot every sprint. You stun your own teammates. You fire a beam meant for a target and instead redecorate a hallway. You spent so long pulling the power in that you genuinely have no idea how to point it. So you train. For the first time in your life, you practice slowing down on purpose, not to hide the storm, but to steer it. You learn the exact half second before a slide. You learn how hard to throw a bolt so it lands where you want. You learn that being the fastest in the room means nothing if you arrive somewhere useless. It is humbling. It is annoying. You are extremely bad at being patient. You get better anyway, because for once the goal is not to be smaller, it is to be precise. The place they bring you into is full of people who are also a little too much for the regular world, which is the first time in your life a room full of strangers feels like the right size for you. There is a girl who moves almost as fast as you, riding the wind itself, all sharp edges and quiet confidence. Jet. The two of you take one look at each other and instantly, silently agree to race, forever, about everything. Neither of you ever says it out loud. Neither of you has to. She is air and you are lightning, and the whole team has quietly accepted that any hallway you are both in is now a track meet. There is a walking explosion in a yellow vest who treats property damage as a personality. Raise. You love her immediately. She is the only person in the building with an energy level that matches yours. And when the two of you team up, the responsible adults get a very specific look on their faces, the look of people calculating the repair bill in real time. You are chaos and noise. She is noise and chaos. It is a beautiful friendship and a terrible idea. There is a guy who is on fire and extremely pleased about it. Phoenix. Cocky, loud, flashy, convinced he is the main character of every room he walks into. Normally that would annoy you. It does annoy you. But he is also genuinely fun, and he never once looks at your sparks like they are scary, only like they are cool, and honestly, that earns him a lot of forgiveness for the showing off. There is a woman of total calm who can heal a wound and stop time with the same gentle expression. Sage. She is everything you are not. Still, patient, quiet, unhurried. She is the first person who tells you that your power is not something to apologize for, and she says it so calmly that for once, you actually believe it. You do not understand how someone can be that peaceful. You suspect she does not understand how you are awake. And there is the steady one running the whole operation. Brimstone. He gives you the rules, the missions, the chain of command, and watches you vibrate in your chair the entire time like a kettle about to go off. He has worked with fast agents before. He has never worked with one who shorts out the lights when she gets excited. He learns to keep a backup generator near the briefing room. He never tells you that is why. The work is real, and it is dangerous, and it is the happiest you have ever been, because every single mission is an excuse to do the thing they spent years telling you not to. There are people out there who want what you can do, who want to study it, bottle it, control it, use it, the kind of people who look at a living storm and see a battery. They are about to learn the difference between a battery and a thunderstorm. The mission that changes everything drops you into a facility built to contain exactly one thing, you, or someone like you. Reinforced walls, dampening fields, technology specifically designed to smother bioelectric power, to do on an industrial scale the exact thing you spent your childhood doing to yourself. Walk in there, and you go quiet. You go dim. You become the scared kid in the garage again, holding the storm behind her ribs. Your team needs the records buried inside, and the only way in runs straight through the room designed to switch you off. For one bad moment, standing at that threshold, you feel it start to work. The hum under your skin fades. The current pulls back. Old instinct kicks in and whispers the thing you used to tell yourself every single day. Hold it in. Be calm. Be normal. Be small. And you decide, standing right there, that you are done being small. You stop fighting the storm and you start feeding it. Every feeling you ever clamped down, every race you never ran, every appliance you apologized for, every look on every face that ever turned from "that's funny" to "what are you?" You take all of it, years of it, and you pour it into the current, and you overload their perfect little cage from the inside until it cannot hold a fraction of what you actually are. The dampeners scream, the lights die, every single one. And in the dark, moving faster than anything they built to stop you, is a girl who is finally, fully, exactly what she was born as. You walk out with the records and a building full of very confused, very re-educated people behind you. They wanted to switch you off. They found the off switch. It was welded shut years ago, and you are the only one who ever knew where it was. Jet gets to you first, riding the wind through the wreckage, and just looks at the room full of dead screens and dropped weapons and slowly nods, the closest she comes to a compliment. Raze wants to know if you can do it again, on purpose, somewhere with more stuff to break. Even Brimstone, who has seen everything, takes a long look at the scorched, dampening rig and quietly decides to upgrade the briefing room generator to something bigger. The fights keep coming after that. Different cities, different cages, different people who keep making the same mistake, which is looking at all that energy and assuming it can be contained, managed, turned down, told to slow itself for everyone else's comfort. You have been told to slow down your entire life. You are physically incapable of taking that advice anymore, and you have never been happier about anything. Between missions, you race Jet down hallways and lose half the time, and win the other half, and refuse to ever admit which was which. You blow things up with Raze and let Phoenix think he is the fastest just to watch his face when you remind him he is not. You sit with Sage sometimes, in the quiet, and try to be still, and you almost manage it for whole minutes at a time now, which for you is basically meditation. You think about your parents sometimes, mid-mission, in the half-second of quiet before everything goes loud. The two tired people who replaced a fridge a year and never once asked you to be less, who held a sparking, crackling, impossible kid and decided she was theirs. You did not understand back then how rare that was. You do now. Everything you are partly because nobody at home ever flinched. You keep the jacket. You keep the speed. You keep the storm, the whole roaring, crackling, impossible engine of it. The thing they tried to teach you to be ashamed of. The thing that turned out to be the best part of you all along. You are neon, born loud, raised fast, wired straight into a power the rest of the world is still learning to fear. They spent years asking you to hold it in. You spent years listening. Then one day you stopped. Blink and you miss it. Somewhere, a light just went out.